Hello. Once again, I, Sam Valentino, private toon detective, am here with some more updates, partly involving this channel and partly involving the animation industry. First off, with the Boomerang streaming app finally being discontinued, that brought some good news to Max users, because as part of that, Max finally restored most, if not all, of those near 250 Looney Tunes cartoons that were purged from the service at the very end of 2022. This includes several of them from the 50s and 60s, which also includes the infamous post-64 era when it eventually became Warner Bros. 7 Arts, and then the 2000s shorts that were similar. And there are also some cartoons that had been streaming there before they were added to the service, such as Beanstalk Bunny. That one was tricky to restore because part of the negative had apparently been damaged. But early this decade, they finally got around to doing it for release on the first Looney Tunes Collector's Choice Blu-ray volume. And yes, I'm aware Volume 4 will be coming out soon. But on this, they're able to patch over the damaged part of the negative using a theatrical print that was upscaled and color corrected. So there's a brief shift in image quality, but given the circumstance, it's not too bad. But MeTV and MeTV Toons still show the 1990s TV master. But that's only because they got the print before this restoration was done. And speaking of such restorations, as part of celebrating Scooby-Tober this month, and yeah, I've already mentioned I'm on pretty good terms with Scooby-Doo, a fellow mystery-solving toon canine. They went and re-added the Scooby-Doo show to the Max streaming app, and how that was also purged in early 2023. Along with adding the new Scooby-Doo mysteries from 1984, and at long last, a pup named Scooby-Doo. And that show also recently got an HD remaster. But the first season wasn't easy, because it was digitally colored and composited using Hanna-Barbera's computer system at the time. Yep, Hanna-Barbera was one of the first animation studios to use digital ink and paint, even before Disney. And the computer system back then was kind of primitive. It could only output to a 640 by 480 resolution. So what Warner Bros. Did was they upscaled the footage and applied some color correction and noise reduction. Generally, it looks a lot better than it did on DVD and on the Boomerang app, but it's not entirely perfect, yet still a big improvement. And speaking of Scooby-Doo, yes, I've also heard that Velma adult party cartoon series was not renewed for a third season. And that doesn't really surprise me, as generally since the early 2010s, Warner Bros.' animated shows rarely go beyond 2 seasons, with a few rare exceptions like the Tom and Jerry Show, Wabbit aka New Looney Tunes, and of course that darn Teen Titans Go. But regarding Velma ending...
And nothing of value was lost.
Yeah, but it's not all good, because some animators lost their jobs over this. And I mentioned that the animation industry is still going through yet another dark age, after that one in the 1970s and 1980s. AI is still threatening their jobs. So much even The Simpsons made fun of that in their season 36 premiere.
Finale.
There's my special little birthday guy.
And they're still on strike because of that. Along with stuff like Max purging some more Cartoon Network shows last month, like Chowder, The Regular Show, Steven Universe, The Amazing World of Gumball, and Ben 10. I don't really care for those shows much, but I do feel bad for the fans of them and the people who worked on those shows, too. And the creator of the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, Maxwell Atoms, just got laid off from his job, so he's had to sell some of his memorabilia from working on such shows while looking for another animation gig, which is currently pretty hard for the reasons I mentioned. Similarly, Zach Wolf right now is going through such a financial pickle. Not because of the animation industry, but because he also got laid off from his computer tech job because the company was suffering financially and had to make budget cuts. And the computer tech industry is currently in a bit of a slump. So while Zach is looking for a job, he's been selling some stuff on his eBay account. A link is provided in the description if you want to see what he's currently selling. And I also still have a few bills to pay myself, being a private detective and all. Especially since at the end of this month, he and I are going to Furpocalypse in Stamford, Connecticut. Zach is going to celebrate Halloween there, dressing up in grandmother's clothing like a typical Toon Big Bad Wolf and do some trick-or-treating. while I snoop around the con, looking for clues that still relate to Copley's disappearance from Anther, New England. And Wile E. Coyote will be accompanying us too, spreading the word about the misdeeds that mugged David Zaslav and Warner Bros. Discovery have been pulling, including shelving his Coyote vs. Acme movie. Also, regarding the financial stuff, you probably saw that this channel now has the videos actually being monetized. Drastic times call for drastic measures, after years of just making these videos for fun. Of course, the YouTube poops Zach makes can't be monetized, but some other stuff like these kind of vlogs can. And speaking of YouTube poops, Zach will be hosting a panel for Apocalypse about making those videos. But until then, keep watching this YouTube channel to see what comes next, as hopefully things will soon turn around.